Steve Magnante here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with one of the most popular high-performance cars of the 1980s, the legendary 5-liter Mustang. Now these were available as the LX with the high-output 302 or the top-line GT. This is a 1988 and new. This car cost $16,600, which was about $3,800 more than the GT Fastback. So these were pretty rare and special cars back then. Now keep in mind, of the 68,440 Mustang GT 5 liters made in 1988, only 18,158 were convertibles like this. Let's take a peek under the hood and see what we find. Yeah, classic. Some very typical mid-80s modifications. The 5-liter Cobra intake manifold, which is a little bit different from the high output, longer runners, larger plenum volume, and a classic day 2 modification to any self-respecting street racer 5.0 back in the 1980s. Larger throttle body, Ford Racing, we see the logo right there, which of course is where you would get your 5-liter Cobra manifold. Yes, you could part out an actual Cobra Mustang, but kind of pricey. So again, Ford sold these babies over the counter, and that's what we got here. But beyond all of that stuff, this one is no longer naturally aspirated. There is the belt-driven supercharger. This one is a Vortec, I'm pretty sure. Oh, a Novi, there you go, a Novi belt-driven supercharger right here. Of course, making this 302 behave like a 402 cubic inch engine, or maybe a little more at full boost. And the beauty of the belt-driven blower is that you get your boost anytime the engine's running versus a turbo where you got to build some RPMs to get the gas velocity up. So that's the beauty of the belt-driven blower. Everybody who went out street racing on Friday night had a blower or a bottle. Now this one also has some cool stuff. These blue hoses are the high silicone hoses found on the special service package Mustangs, the cop cars, and they bolt right on, and a lot of folks will add these babies. This chrome piece in the middle is an adapter, which of course clears the bracketry for the Novi supercharger. Otherwise, largely stock under the hood, down to the aluminum radiator, a very high efficiency piece. Power steering, of course, power drum brakes in the back, discs up front, and a nice clean engine bay on this, really. No rust on this one. It's got something like 16,000 original miles. And as we come around this side here, we'll see it is a little bit lower. This car sits perhaps half an inch or maybe an inch lower than stock, which is another classic thing. And these wheels are the 16-inch pony wheels, which arrived in 1991. This would have had 15s from the factory, but again, day 2 modification of the first order, classic stuff. Inside, new for 88 with the high back leather bucket seats. Now this one is an automatic, and that means AOD. Not a bad thing. That's an automatic overdrive with, again, overdrive in top gear, which allows you to have a nice low gear off the line. But once you hit the overdrive gear out on the highway, your RPMs drop, your fuel economy improves, and that's a great thing. Now here on the latch lock pillar right there, we'll see the codes. This one here has, I believe, an M in the axle spot. So this one was born with a 273 axle ratio. And that axle, by the way, is the 8.8 inch with the traction lock, standard in Mustang GT. A tough axle with, I think, 28 spline axle shafts. Not a bad thing at all. The original drums are still here in the back, which is typical stuff, A-OK. And again, that traction lock is a tough axle. It'll certainly handle this supercharged V8 without any problems. They're good for like 400 horsepower. They're not too bad at all in stock trim. In the back here, we gotta love the GT's little faux deck spoiler here, but also the luggage rack in place. And 1987, I believe it was, brought these. These are the cheese grater taillights. Now, Ford saw them as sort of a nod to the 50s, the louvered hoods seen on 32 Fords and stuff like that. And that's kind of what they were going for, but a lot of folks thought they looked like an add-on or an afterthought. I love them. In fact, these were sort of a controversial thing. There was always talk that Ford was going to go back to a clear lens, and in fact, on Mustang LXs, these were clear, but on GT specifically, this is the correct taillight. And again, part of this car's vibe all the way around. I wouldn't change a thing. Inside the trunk, let's take a peek. Yeah, very nice. The original gray fur, as it were, lining is all present and accounted for. Let's look underneath. And the original spare tire is here underneath. And there it is, the mini spare right there. Probably never been out of the car. Yeah, it still has little teats on it. Inflate to 60 PSI. And this is something that was a temporary spare. But here is something kind of neat right here. This is the registration card for the special key tool to lock your tires. This is for the lug nuts, the locking, the code for it. But again, very original. This stuff is almost always missing, but this car is, again, it's about a 15,000 original mile platform with some day 2 modifications. And a great example of the mighty 5-liter Mustang of the 1980s. So that's the story here. To learn more about this car, go to the High-Octane Classics website. And keep in mind, this car can be purchased with as little as 10% down. And High-Octane Classics does accept trades, classics, late models, etc. And you don't have to come to Auburn, Massachusetts to take delivery. High-Octane Classics will deliver this anywhere you want. And by the way, High-Octane Classics is always looking to purchase collections, 5, 50, 20 cars, whatever it might be. If you have some cars to sell, reach out to High-Octane Classics at their website. And to learn more about this 1988 automatic supercharged 5.0 GT convertible, check it out on the High-Octane Classics website.